Welcome back to the Will Learning Company. There's this really fantastic novel that I used to read with my classroom, and it's called The City of Ember. Now, before we go into the kind of lesson or moral of the story, I kind of want to set it up. Actually, it was a book that it depends on which class you talk to. Some classes were like, no, that was kind of my least favorite book, and some were like, that was my favorite book of the whole year. I think it's a good story, and it centers around this city. It's obviously called Ember, and basically, it's a city that's surrounded by darkness, and there's nothing else around the whole city. They are the only light in the dark world. And what's happening is the city has been around for 240 years, and they're beginning to run out of supplies, and they don't know what to do. And they're afraid that not only will the supplies run out, but also that the generator, which provides all of the electricity to the lights, also runs out. Basically, between day and night, during the daytime, the lights of the city turn on, but at nighttime, the lights are turned off and they're in complete darkness. Like imagine as if you had closed your eyes, even within a dark room, like darkness like that. Now, the two main characters, Lena and Dune, they start to try to figure out a way to hopefully either fix the generator or find an exit from the city of Ember. And I don't want to give away too many of the details because I don't want to ruin the ending and all that. But eventually, what they discover is that the supplies are, in fact, running out. And there's not really anyone looking for a solution to this or a solution for an exit to the city of Ember. And that, in fact, the people who are in charge, the ones who have authority, like the mayor, they're actually stealing supplies purely for themselves and not sharing with others. And they're even, the whole city guard, or I guess you couldn't call them police, but like the city guards are kind of in on it and protecting this secret of the mayor taking for himself. Now, our two main characters, Lena and Dune, discover this, and there's this really interesting discussion that Lena has with one of her close family friends. Her name is Clary, and that I want to read for you right now. Lena explained. She went on to explain everything, how she'd shown the instructions to Dune, what they had figured out, how he'd searched the pipeworks and found the door, and what he'd seen when he opened the door. Clary made an unhappy sound and shook her head. "This is very bad," she said. "And sad, too. I remember when the mayor was first starting out. He has always been foolish, but not always wicked. I'm sorry to know that the worst side of him has won out." Clary's dark brown eyes seemed to grow deeper and sadder. "There's so much darkness in Ember, Lena. It's not just outside, it's inside us too. Everyone has some darkness inside. It's like a hungry creature. It wants and wants and wants with a terrible power. And the more you give it, the bigger and hungrier it gets." Lena knew. She had felt it in Looper's shop as she hovered over the colored pencils. For a moment, she felt sorry for the mayor. His hunger had grown so big, it could never be satisfied. His huge body couldn't contain it. It made him forget everything else. To go back to the story, this city of Ember is a city of light, the only light in this dark world, and they are surrounded by darkness. But that theme of light versus dark in the book is really another way of saying good versus evil. And that the point of the novel, all these characters, while they are trying to save the city, and maybe some not trying to save the city, they all struggle with this light versus dark inside themselves. And Clary's point in here is we all have a little bit of darkness in us, a little bit of not good, a little bit of evil. And it really just depends on, do we give into that part of ourselves? Do we feed that part of ourselves through our actions and through our beliefs? Or do we push it away? Lena, at one point earlier, had kind of given into her greed, had given into that darkness. And the mayor, this whole time, is constantly giving into his darkness and essentially, literally just stealing food for himself. And it's something that never really ends up satisfying him. It is this reminder for all of us that I guess we all have that a little bit of that in us as well, a little bit of darkness in us. And whether we choose to give into it or to act upon our lighter side, our good side, it's kind of up to us. And it's an important decision that we see within the characters of this novel. Anyway, it's a really good book, and it has 3 other books beside it, and I don't wanna ruin the story for those, also mostly because I haven't read those 3 other books. So, hey, for the City of Ember, that's a reminder, the light versus the dark inside all of us, which ones do we give into, and which ones do we act upon? Thanks for listening. Like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.